going on, guys? This video is titled My Story, and you're going to get just that in this first video here in the introduction chapter. The first big video, right? It's important that you and I get to know each other, and not just at a surface level, but at a deeper level, right? We're going to be spending an awful lot of time together over the course of this next year, and I need you to understand a very important principle right now, straight out of the gate, and that is that you are the master of your own fate. You are the author of your own story, and you dictate the narrative, right? All too often in life, we allow, and I say this generalized, which it shouldn't be, but many times in life, people allow others to dictate the narrative, others to dictate the story, and allow others to grab hold of that narrative and move us in a direction that we do not want to go. Right? The resistance that we feel, that pull that we feel, that bitterness that we feel, that anger that builds up, that perspective that shifts when life is something that's happening to us but not for us. We don't want that to happen. We want to steer clear of that. And one of the most powerful ways to steer clear of bitterness, resentment, anger, and the direction of life is happening to you, not for you. One of the best ways to do that is to continually grab hold and control of the narrative, the story that you write. And the story that you edit and revise, that's a two-part piece. And I want to talk about both, because writing your own story, being the captain of your own ship, being that author of your own story isn't just future bound, right? It isn't just taking action and writing it out in real time. It's actually being able to go back and edit and revise that story that's told to yourself, or that story that you tell yourself about your life. And again, we want to steer in the direction of for you. Life is happening for you. Life has happened for you. Life will continue to happen for you. It's currently happening for you. And the present, the past, and the future all play a part in that. So I'm going to do my best right here, right now, to let you know a little bit about me and bring this whole philosophy, this whole principle, this strategy to life of giving power to the narrative, or controlling and dictating the narrative of your life. And then we'll get real creative here in a minute as we go to the next video, and you guys get the opportunity to share your stories with me, which I'm so excited about. I'm way more excited about hearing your stories than divulging mine to you. But let me give you some background, all right? I'm going to grab something here real quick. Boom, this is my teaching plaque, all right? Dallas Pruitt, Mr. Pruitt. I'm not going to have you guys call me Mr. P. That's what my students in high school used to call me. But Dallas's journey in the professional world, in the business world, actually began long before the multifamily mindset and all my entrepreneurial endeavors that have ensued over the course of the past 3 to 5 years of my life. Actually, early on, I had aspirations to become a principal in public education, serving at a maximum capacity there. I thought, man, that's where my direct, lane of impact will happen in this world, and I'll bring my best self, to the forefront there. And it was a great idea. It was a great goal. It changed with time, but it was a great goal at the time. And even before I spent time pursuing that, I was given an opportunity to serve as a program director at a residential treatment facility. So let me bring this to light for you. My experiences that happened for me early on in my adulthood looked like sex offenders ages 12 to 20, cooped up in a facility, in a treatment facility, a big home up in the mountains in rural Utah. And it looked like me getting phone calls at 2 o'clock in the morning from my supervisor saying, hey, Dallas, Jimmy has me cornered in the kitchen with a butcher knife. What do I do? He's telling me he wants to kill me. Or, my supervisor's calling me saying, hey, James, this big autistic student that we had, or resident that we had in the facility, won't get in the shower, and he stinks really bad, and he doesn't like the way the water makes him feel. What do I do, right? And hey, Dallas, Billy ran away from the facility and hitched a ride with a truck driver out on Highway 89, and we can't find him. What do we do? Oh, man, like just thinking about that takes me back, and what I don't want to give to, or what I wouldn't receive to be back there again, I guess, if that's the proper way to say that, right? Nobody could pay me enough money. But in the moment, it was happening for me. It was building me up. Those opportunities built me up to who I am today, just like the opportunities that you were given in your past, right? I absolutely love my time in the residential treatment facility. I didn't love every second of it. There were hard things that happened. There were hard decisions that needed to be made. There were some tears at times, and the drive sucked. But man, the learning opportunities that existed within that environment and that space catapulted me to a career that I never could have imagined. And I am forever grateful for the Jimmys, the Billies, the Jameses of the world, and the people who couldn't solve or find solutions to the problems they faced in the moments they were living, because it gave me an opportunity to get creative and jump into the fire. And let's fast forward, all right? Enough about residential treatment facility. I pursue a career in public education. Back to my plaque. Boom. I'll pull it up one more time. Utah State University. Any USU alum? We're in it together. I go and I get my undergrad, find my first job as a special educator in my local school district, which was a great opportunity. I capitalized on some strengths that were built up in my opportunity prior to coming to teaching, and opportunities came fairly quickly in my district, and I was given an opportunity early on in my career to serve as the mental health specialist for my school district. What that meant is I was able to work with students on a vast spectrum of disabilities, everything from schizophrenia to bipolar disorder, to every other type of disorder you could dream of. Honestly, I felt like I'd get a new student and they had 20 different things listed in their file. Challenging, but a blessing, and builded me up over the course of time. And again, my eyes were open to the importance of jumping into the fire and the fact that learning at a high level is doing. I had no damn clue what I was doing, but I was figuring it out as I went, and I was eager, and I was a sponge. And those are tools that were cultivated early on that I've carried with me everywhere I've went. And something that molded me early on in my teaching career was when one of my students passed away. He unfortunately committed suicide, and all too often that was a heartache that we faced in our district, and many adults alike in many different districts throughout the country, and communities and families throughout the country face that same tragedy. But I was asked to speak at this kid's funeral. I only knew him for 6 months. 6 months, that is it. But our interactions had such a profound impact on this individual's life that I was asked to speak at his funeral. And I was a blubbery mess. I couldn't even function. But it struck a chord with me that, one, I needed to be my best because other people relied on me and bringing that best to the table every day. But two, it opened my eyes to, again, this mental health crisis that exists in the world. And that's where I would say my passion for growth mindset, my passion for happiness, my passion for success and living a rich, fulfilled life really skyrocketed and sparked from a flame to just a giant bonfire. In that time frame, right around that same time, I decided I was going to sneak my way into a master's program so that I could become a principal sooner. And I had this lofty goal to become a principal by the age of 30. And when I got my degree, kept kicking ass and taking names, and I was out to prove myself, which was a grievous error, right? I wasn't out to improve myself, but I was more concerned about proving myself. I applied for jobs, and the feedback I kept receiving was not something I wanted to hear. I kept hearing things like, you're too young, you need to shave your beard, look the part, wear a blazer next time. And bitterness and anger and that idea that life was happening to me kept building up, and to the point that I hit a breaking point, and I crashed on my floor, cried my eyes out, looked at my wife, and she basically had a come to Jesus moment with me, which I'm forever grateful for. And she said, Dallas, do something about it. Quit talking, quit complaining, quit indulging, quit feeling bad for yourself, and go out and do something about it. If you think you can do these things, then go do it. In that same time frame, I was given the opportunity to pivot, and luckily my wife helped me to open my perspective again and open my eyes and recognize the zigzag, right? Recognize the pivot point, and an opportunity in business arose. All the while, I had created this journaling system for at the education world to help students and administrators and teachers cultivate, live, and adopt a growth mindset, because I was so sick and tired of hearing people throw out the word growth mindset like it was Skittles, like it was just candy that for everybody to have, and that they knew what they were talking about. And I ran down the data trails, and nobody really knew what they were talking about other than working hard and having a positive attitude would help you. But for me, that wasn't enough. For my students, it wasn't enough, and I wanted to peel back those layers and give people actionable tools that would help them to cultivate a growth mindset and recognize and build up an awareness and a knowledge of what a growth mindset actually was. My tools didn't catch fire. My resources that I built out didn't catch fire in the world of public education because bureaucracy exists, hoops need to be jumped through, and let's face it, it's hard to monetize something in public education. The money's just not there, and I had a family to provide for. I also had a passion that wasn't going to get put out, and it needed a place to flourish and grow. And so I got a lucky break, and I had some friends who were high-level leaders in different corporations and businesses here locally, and they asked to bring me on and come cultivate growth mindset and strategies and principles and actionable tools for their teams as a private contractor. And luckily, my eyes were opened up at that time, and I was able to recognize the opportunity for a pivot, the opportunity for growth, and I went straight to doing. And it flourished. It just kept flourishing, and opportunities kept coming, and then I was faced with the decision, ultimately, to make the jump, which was a glorious day. And, bypassing a few other details here, after stints at Vivint and Aptiv and doTERRA and other organizations and other high-level leadership teams, I'm here with you, and you are my sole focus. You are my passion, right? Your goals are my passion, and ultimately growth mindset, you being able to adopt, live, and feed a growth mindset are my passion. Now, why do I tell you this story? Why do I tell you it in this form? Well, because again, life is happening for you, not to you, and that is a direct influencer of you being able to dictate the narrative in your life and control the story, right? The story that you tell yourself and that you continue to tell yourself about the past, about the present, about the future, and what can be. That is important. That is crucial. And it's crucial that we talk about that and set the stage right now, right at the very beginning of this process of you and I together. All right. So as you proceed here from this My Story video, we're going to start to talk about your story. And you're going to be asked 3 questions. And I'm going to do my best to answer those questions right now. And I kind of have already in a creative way, right? So let me dive into them. You're going to be asked who you are, and I want to tell you who I am. I am a father. I am a teacher. I am a growth mindsetter. I am a doer. I am an entrepreneur. I am a husband. I'm a father. I am a lover of life and a lover of people. Okay? I am grateful for that. I am grateful for where my feet currently are in this present moment. What challenges or what experiences, situations, blessings am I most grateful for that have already transpired in my life? Well, I've already touched on those at a pretty deep level so far, right? My time at a residential treatment facility as a program director, my time as a teacher, an aspiring educator, an aspiring administrator, my time as, a poor entrepreneur who went through growing pains day in and day out. I am grateful for those 3 things. I'm grateful for the hard experiences I was given to speak at students' funerals who had committed suicide and experiencing death firsthand of loved ones. I am grateful for that because I am able to recognize how it built me up and made me who I am today. Right? And what do the next 12 months of my life look like? That's the next question you're going to be asked, that 3-part. And for me, the next 12 months of my life look like helping others within the multifamily investment world, entrepreneurs, fellow entrepreneurs, cultivate, strengthen, live, adopt, feed a growth mindset in everything they do at the highest level possible. And while doing that, help them achieve at a higher rate than they've ever dreamt was possible, right? And that's why we're here to cultivate that here within the Growth Hub together. So again, the next video is going to capitalize on those 3 questions. We're going to break down your story and get to know each other a little bit better on a more personal basis. And I just want to say, again, I'm so excited to be here with you, and I'm super stoked about jumping into your stories and getting to know you beyond a surface level. Talk to you guys soon.
It's WEINGARTEN, Weingarten.